Hey guys, Joe here with Unconventional Me. I want to share with you an unconventional approach to propagating pineapples. Why would you want to do that? Well, in my case, I have a greenhouse, so I'm going to be growing it in there, and my hope is to grow my own organic, or organic to me, kind of pineapples. For those of you that live in a kind of a subtropic area, this would definitely be great for you too. So first things first, this is the top. This top will actually grow into a plant. It would be the mother plant. It will grow a pineapple out of the top of this, and then it will also, being a mother plant, produce pups. Pups are smaller plants that will grow off the stem of this. Those pups can then be taken off and planted, and they themselves will grow pineapples too. So anyways, let's get started here real quick. What you want to do, everyone has a different way. This is my way of doing it, okay? Some people will cut it off the top. No. There is a base to this that I like to have a hold of whenever I'm doing this. So what you do is you get a hold of the base, okay, of the plant, base of the pineapple. Now, don't pull, okay? I actually push as I twist, okay? So I'm pushing the base of the plant into the pineapple as I'm twisting, and that gives you that nice top, okay? Now that'll actually come in handy here. In my opinion, it helps. All right. Now, what you want to do is get rid of all these base leaves, okay? For some reason, I'm going to be honest with you, I have just done another one of these, and I was amazed at all the roots that were actually started on here. The plants I've already worked with, which I'll show you here in a second, have never had this many roots. So my approach, which will actually even work better with these, the reason my approach is different than what I've seen, guys, is because a lot of people will take these and they say, oh, just stick them in water. Well, if you've seen my other video on how to propagate avocados, sticking them in water is just asking for rot. That's all you're going to do is get rot. The same thing with this. I tried it just sticking it in water, you know, and it left me frustrated because who's got time to waste, right? So when you're doing something and you're following somebody on YouTube and tells you how to do this or how to do that. Sorry guys, this is me. I just keep it real here, okay? You know, when you watch other people and they show you how to do it, and then you try it their way, you wonder, do they even know what they're doing? Or are they just out trying to make videos, you know? Because every time I tried things just sticking in the water, it always rotted. And that's even if I changed the water. So I don't know. Maybe it did work for them, but it didn't work for me. And there's another video I saw that indicated it didn't work for a lot of people. So this is how we do it, guys. If you've learned how to propagate succulents, you're going to understand what we're doing. We're going to take these ends, okay? These are fresh and they're wet. What we've got to do is let them dry. And when they dry, they'll heal over, okay? And that healing over is the most important thing. Same thing when you do banana plants. Where does that come from? Out of left field, right? I got a video on how to do banana plants. The same thing, when you take that pup off of the mother plant, you've got to let that base heal before you go and stick it in dirt. Otherwise, it's going to just continue to rot. And as it rots, it's going to move up and up and kill the whole plant. So what you got to do is leave them out. Now, here's the deal. Do you see all these roots? I have never had one with this many roots on it, okay? Check out this one. I just did this one as well. I wanted to show you two different ways to do it. Okay, look at all those roots already. Who wants to waste those? I don't want to waste them. So what I'm going to do, guys, this is my approach, okay? Now, if they did, I've done plenty where I didn't have any roots really even to look at, okay? So I literally just took this plant and I left it out. And let the base dry, okay? And then after it dried for about 3, 5, 7 days, depending on the humidity, the time of year, where I kept them. After they dried, then I planted them, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. But the ones that had some roots to them, I've never seen this many. Look at all that, guys. That's amazing. Can you see? I don't know if you can pick up all those roots. Look at that. Well, I don't want to waste those, right? So what I'm going to show you is what I did with the ones that just had little nubbins of roots that I didn't want to waste. I take a piece of paper towel. Now this is a twofold approach, okay? I still want this base, this part here, I still want it to dry and cure over, okay? But I don't want to lose those roots. So what I'm going to do, now this is where I'm not seeing other people do, okay? I cover it in paper towel. I just take the paper towel and I fold it up into about a 2-inch ribbon, okay? And I wrap around the base. And then I take a rubber band. Now I've used tape, masking tape or electrical tape, but I figure I grab a rubber band to show you guys. And I'm just gonna keep it so that it's applied pressure all the way around there, okay? And that pressure is gonna hold the moist paper towel, because we're gonna moisten that. And that paper towel will stay moist and it'll stay against the roots. Kind of maintain them while this is drying. Okay, so I didn't make this really clear. There's two approaches that I've taken. One, do what we've done, separate it, take off all the base stems. Now the reason it's important, you can take even more of these off, okay? The reason it's so important to take these guys off, and I know that sounds like a lot, right? You're only left with this little bit. The reason it's important to take those off is because every one of those stems is going to draw nutrients and moisture, and you don't want too much of that, okay? So you're basically just going to minimize the amount of moisture drawn up by these, okay? All right, so one approach is doing this, letting it sit out in the sun, or not in the sun, in the shade. Now if you want to keep it in the house, if your house is nice and dry, keep it in the house, that's fine too. Somewhere where it can dry up. But you also, and this is where it's important, okay? Because I'm trying to share with you guys a way that it's going to give you like an 80 to 90% success rate. I have pretty much what I would say 100% success rate over here, and I'll show you. And I probably should have started the video off like that, but I'll show you my success so you understand it's working. It works. I'll show you real quick. That way, if you're watching this video, you'll realize, oh crap, that guy knows what he's talking about. Look at this, guys. Look at these roots. I started these in, I'm trying to put it to where you can see the roots, the root mass. I started these back in February. It's August now. Might have been in March, but the gist I'm getting to is I know what I'm doing here. The last time I counted them, there were 35 plants in these 2 containers here. Now what got me started, you guys, was I've always wanted to do this, and I've tried it before, like I said, and I never really had success, but the 2 local grocery stores had a sale, and they kind of competed with each other, where the prices on pineapples kind of went down and down and down. There was one point where they were only $1 a piece. I thought, man, for $1, I don't even have to eat the pineapples. What I was doing there for a while was I ate as many as I could, but then I started tossing them in the freezer to, you know, get the tops and start working on them. But I didn't want to waste the base. So anyways, yeah, guys, I mean, this is amazing to me. I mean, I've never seen this kind of success shared on YouTube. I don't know. I'm not at all bragging. I'm just trying to show you, hey, what I'm asking you to take the time to watch and listen really does work. So, all right, once we get the base off, or the top off, and we get the leaves pruned back, minimized, you have 2 options. The easiest way to do it would be just let it sit in a dry space and let the base cure. The other way is to, if you have any roots and you want to salvage those, go ahead and wrap some paper towel around the base, but leave this exposed. Okay, leave that core, I call it the core, exposed, and that's going to dry off. Either way, it's going to dry and cure over. All right, while we're waiting for it to dry, this is really important. With this paper towel approach, you just want to keep this paper towel moist. When you're watering it, do the top of it, okay? And let that moisture wick down to the bottom. Try to keep this dry. I know it's going to be hard, but you just got to keep that dry. Now that moisture is going to help sustain those roots while that base is curing, okay? This approach, the other approach where you just let it dry, you still want to do this, guys. You still want to mist the top greens. Now, the reason why that's important is this crazy nuthead of mine was thinking, well, because I was frustrated. I was like, well, all these attempts I was making at propagating these tops, nothing was really working. And I was like, well, okay, if this is really supposed to work, how does it work in the wild? And I got to thinking, okay, so the top is going to fall off. The pineapple is going to fall to the ground. This is just going to be laying out in the exposed air, and it's probably going to eventually rot off too. And I thought, well, if it's just going to lay there, eventually this is going to dry over, and then this is getting moisture still from the dew and the rain. And that's probably keeping these guys alive. So that's what I did. I just started keeping the green tops moistened, just misted once or twice a day, and that's it. And some might say, oh, that's too much work. But I'll tell you something. If you're going to take the time to go and suspend a top in water, and have to change that out every other day, every other day, you might as well just do this way because it works. Guys, what I did was, you see this tray? I started out with 3 on one end, put them in the sand, and then I didn't water them. I just misted them. I just sprayed them. I kept them sprayed. Now, I used a heavier spray. You know, I actually sprayed them and made sure they were all wet, and I did that every day, every other day. And then after I knew they were starting to root, because I'd peek in and cheat and look at them, once I started seeing a lot of good roots, then I started watering them more. But yeah, they're doing really good, guys. I'm really excited about this. And that's why I want to share this video. It's just my unconventional approach to doing something that I've seen probably 30 or 40 different videos on how to propagate pineapples, and I've never seen anybody do it this way. But it works. Now, if you want to try the seed approach, we've all probably seen the pineapple seed, digging through, picking out the seeds. Guys, I've got 2 Ziploc bags full of pineapple seeds. I started those back in March, and out of probably 50 or 60 seeds that I have 2 plants. Now, that's fine. If you want to do that route, go for it. I haven't totally given up on my seeds. I mean, I do have them still growing, and I haven't given up on the rest that are in the bag. But for me, this is the way to go. I just go every week or so, get a couple pineapples, and I add. Now, I've got these 2 trays filled up. But you know, this is the way I do it. And I'm babbling, so I apologize. But basically, you take the ones you have, you set in the sand, keep them moist, and then you just add to the tray as you get more tops. Dry it off, and then put them in the sand. You could, if your sand is dry, you could put the top, fresh top, right into the dry sand if you want to. I wouldn't do it. I would let them dry off, let them cure over, and then stick them in the sand. Wet them down. Take a watering can. Don't mess around with this after you get them dried off. This really is just what I use to keep the greens wet while they're drying off. But once they're cured over, dried off and cured over, and you've got them in the tray, sprinkle them with a watering can. That's going to not only moisten the green tops, but it's also going to allow some moisture to trickle down to the roots to where they'll be able to grow and develop. So, hey guys, I appreciate you watching. Thanks for your patience. I know I kind of rambled a lot, but it's just me unedited. So I appreciate you watching. If you enjoyed it, like and subscribe. Keep your eyes open for other videos. All right, thanks a lot, guys.